Blind Limey, first of all, thank you for your generosity. You were doing some super chats earlier today, and you're a frequent participant here. I was not at Live Aid. I was alive during it. Were you there?
I wasn't. I was but a child, but my mum watched it.
Okay.
I was giving it as an example of an event that millions of people saw. Was very important to a lot of people. It was also televised, which the Sermon on the Mount wasn't. But if I ask relatively simple questions like, man, do you remember when Freddie Mercury got out there and for the kids in Africa sang Another One Bites the Dust and Bohemian Rhapsody and Radio Gaga? Do people remember that? Because that's not true.
Right.
He didn't sing Another One Bites the Dust. And when he put on his famous yellow jacket, except he didn't, because he didn't wear the jacket on that set. And what if I told you that there were two policemen on stage before the set? Would you believe me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Common.
They were, if I remember, a comedy set, the two cops?
Indeed. They weren't policemen, they were dressed as policemen.
Yes.
And this is something that happened less than 50 years ago. Well, that's less than 40 years ago. And you could talk to everyone who was there and they would remember it differently. And they'll give you a slightly different account.
So that's a real good one about the policemen, because if somebody later on said there were policemen there before Queen went on, and somebody else goes, no, there weren't policemen, that first person could respond with, yeah, but they had I saw a policeman's badge, or I saw a policeman's hat. Those are correct things. They are remembering correctly that there was police uniform there. There were individuals wearing that garb, but they were actually actors. So it again, just another great point of how fallible you can be just standing there because you don't know the full context of what's going on.
Yes, you can accurately testify as to what you saw in a certain way that leads to false conclusions, even if what you say is, I saw two policemen. Well, technically that's false, and in another way it's true, and who knows how the person who is taking your testimony is going to take it. This is something that's called the Mandela Effect. So everybody remembered that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s, except he didn't, right? Society sort of developed this. And there's lots of examples about it. You know, C-3PO has two golden legs. No, he doesn't. The Berenstain Bears was a great kids cartoon. It's the Berenstain Bears, right? Does the Monopoly guy have a monocle or not? Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff where culturally we have these false memories. Now, it's not exactly the same as Eyewitness, but it is a false memory, and people will often swear that, like you say, they saw Freddie Mercury perform Another One Bites the Dust at Live Aid, and then years later you show them a video of it, and it blows their mind that they haven't. It is definitely a problem with cultural memory and specifically individual memories.
And I'll leave you with this. I won't bogart it because, another host calling into the show, how gauche. But I also would like to use this as an example of the fact that it's not just in the retelling that the inaccuracies can come, it's in the recording. Because I was asking, remember when he did this? And it was a leading question. Right. Used to say that the people who were taking these stories were saying, tell me about the miracles of Jesus.
Right.
Thus implying that miracles actually happened.
Right. Suddenly everybody has a story now. It's like, hey, just like what was the leprechaun in Atlanta, right? Remember? There was there was this thing out of nowhere. Yeah, just this dude just comes through and is like, "Do you see the leprechaun?" And everybody was like, "Yeah, we saw the leprechaun." But if he had asked the question, "Hey, do you know what's going on here?" Like, maybe what the person would have responded with was, oh, yeah, a bunch of people say they saw a leprechaun, That's massively different from, yeah, I saw the leprechaun.
And there have been serious studies about this. As an attorney, I sort of focused in on this. When you talk about eyewitness testimony, most attorneys will tell you it's crap. This is my favorite example of it. It's not a scientific study, but it's very demonstrative of the problem. I think it was Nightline, but one of the news shows on TV ran an experiment where they had a college classroom lecture hall populated by actual students taking a class from an actual professor. And then an actor came in while the professor was lecturing and stole the purse off of the professor's desk, looked at the room real quickly before they did it. They came in, they looked around, they were wearing a hoodie, but you could see their face. They looked, she stopped talking, said, "Can I help you?" The person then grabbed the purse and ran out the room, right? And long enough to get a good eyewitness of what this person looked like. And some of the students even tried to chase him, but they had TV producers in the hallway to stop them. And then they interviewed everybody. And they said, yeah, he was this tall, and it was 6 feet. He was this tall. He was 5'4". He was white. He was Puerto Rican. He was Asian. They got all sorts of answers. But everybody said that he had something wrong with his nose, a broken nose or a scar or something like that. And then the producers rewound the tape because the professor had been in on it. And after the person ran away with the purse, the professor, as she was gathering her notes and saying, "Okay, let's get back. The security will handle it," she says into her mic under her breath, "Wow, that guy had a weird nose." And that's it. And so they interview these people afterwards, and before they're in on it, they all say there was something wrong with his nose. And when I say all, 99%, maybe there was one who didn't. Then they would bring the actor out to each student as they were interviewing them, and they would say, "Do you see anything wrong with his nose?" "No." "Why did you say that?" "I don't know, but I would have sworn that there was something wrong with his nose." There was one student, there were several who didn't believe it, to the point of looking at the actor very carefully, well, he's got a pimple or whatever. There was one student who was like, no, that's a problematic nose. He was so entrenched that he had made the claim that there was a problem with the nose, that he would argue sitting in front of the actor with the TV producers, that is not a normal nose. Everybody else agreed, "Oh no, I was tricked, or I had a faulty memory." So this sort of stuff happens all the time, and we know that it happens all the time. And the point is, even if we had access to eyewitnesses from Jesus's time who saw something, how can we reliably lean on that? If we know today that, an hour after seeing a robbery, you're swearing that this guy's nose was broken when it just was somebody who said something in your ear that you weren't even consciously paying attention to.
Yeah. And even after correction, it can be tough for us to change the memories that we have, because not only do you have the memory of the event, right? But now 2 years has gone by and you have a memory of telling the story to somebody else. You have a memory of your memory, and these things keep building. So I'll tell you, when I was young, okay, from the ages of 1 to 3, I had golden retrievers. I had 2 golden retrievers. Okay. And they were beautiful, beautiful dogs. I can remember, all kinds of different fun things that we did in the backyard. The thing was that all the way up until I was about 16, I had 2 golden retrievers. They died when I was very young. I wasn't even 4 by the time, unfortunately, they had passed. But when I was 16, I found out that actually I had terriers. And the reason I found this out is because I was casually telling a story to my mother one day. It was background information in the story. And I was like, yeah, and me and brother, we were doing this and we were hanging out with so-and-so and so-and-so. And my mom was like, oh yeah, how are they doing? I'm like, oh, they're great. Blah, blah, just got married or whatever. And so, yeah, we were telling them about our dogs, Sophie and Agatha, and, golden retrievers and blah, blah, blah. And I keep going on with the story. And my mom goes, well, hang on, Elliot. What kind of dogs did you say? And I was like, well, golden retrievers, you remember, they were adorable. We have all these pictures of them and stuff, but I had really never seen any pictures of them. And so my mom goes, hang on a second, grabs a picture of me being held by her. Okay. My brother is being held by my father, and at their ankles are these fluffy little puppy dogs. And I'm sitting there looking at it just going, holy shit, these dogs are tiny, but they were so massive. The only memory I have of these dogs is them jumping up and being able to lick my face. There's no way. And then my mom goes, "Hey, Elliot, you were 3."
Mm-hmm.
A 3-year-old looking at terriers. These things are the biggest damn dogs in the world. Of course, you in the moment, there's so much going on with you that alone can radically change what you witnessed and your memory of what you witnessed. For years, I thought I grew up with these massive, massive dogs. But the only reason I thought that was because as a 3-year-old, these dogs are big. They are massive. They're half your size.
The size of a house.
Exactly. But once you grow up, you realize, oh my gosh, no, these are different breeds of dog. They're like totally different. They look different. Not at all. So yeah, eyewitness testimony at the end of the day, guys, just don't be relying on it. Like it's not that good. We have better shit.
How about you, Blind Limey? Did you have an experience like that in your life?
Oh, so many. And in fact, I could tell you the stories of my memories and false memories and other examples of why I witnessed against. But maybe I'll just save that for the after show. For the
come to the after show, folks.
Yeah,
that's a great pitch.
And I'll leave you to it. But I will also say that don't ask me to be an eyewitness unless you want. It was a shape that was in a place.
I was going to make the joke. I felt like, you know, without proper context, it might just look mean. I'd be like, well, Blind Limey's never been a witness.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think knowing Blind Limey, he would appreciate the ear witness attitude, and it would be interesting to do studies to see what is actually more reliable, like smell memory, auditory memory, visual memory. Yeah.
Smells apparently are super crucial to memory. So that would be fascinating. Hey, all of you watchers and lovers of AXP and the ACA as a whole, all of you that have the ability to do this experiment, go do it and give us the results.
Find the research for us. So thank you so much, Blind Limey.